Welcome, Skate family, to lesson 1 of the St. Louis U-Slide instructional videos. My name is Reginald Juice Dillon and I'm your instructor. Today we're going to learn about the 3 parts to my teaching method. Also, we're going to learn about X marks the spot. The first thing I want to get across is the fact that I will be teaching in an inverted format. So what that means is you will be learning as if you were looking into a mirror. That's pretty much what that means. So if you were to point to your 9 o'clock or to your left side, point to your left, it would be my right, okay? And if you were to point to your right side, that would be my left. Again, so when I tell you an instruction, go ahead and do it, and I would be the mirror image of it, okay? So the first thing we want to talk about is the clock. The reason why I use a clock is because it helps me communicate to the students in my class exactly what angle and what I'm looking at, and what angle I want them to take. So, to do a quick little test for the clock, just point to 12 and point to your 9 o'clock. Should be right to your left side. Point to your 3 o'clock. Point to 6 o'clock and come back to 12. Okay? So those are basic 4 coordinates for the clock. And the reason why I use it, it's similar to playing the game Twister. With Twister, you would flip the little spin dial, and it'll tell you right foot blue. So you get your right foot, and you would put it on blue. Or say left hand green. You get your left hand and press green. Using the clock actually helps students when I'm telling them what angle they should take and where their foot should be placed. In this aspect, this is just helping the student be visually looking in the same direction that I'm looking at. So we're going to go ahead and step this up real quick, and I want everyone to please point to 12. Okay, go ahead and point to 9 o'clock. Point to 3 o'clock. Point to 6. Point to 12. Now point to 11. Point to 10. Point to 9. Point to 3. Point to 2. Point to 1, and back at 12. Okay, so that time what we did was we went ahead and incorporated some other numbers and some more angles. So again, it's the same principle. It allows me to communicate to the student the other angles in which they can now take as far as a path. And now we're going to move on to the next section. That's incorporating the rear numbers. Let's go ahead and start off with our basic coordinates. Everyone point to 12, point to 9, 3, 6, 12, 6, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3, 11, 10, 9, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 9, 8, 7, 6, 8, 4, 7, 5, and 12. All right, and that wraps up all of the numbers for the clock. We're going to move on to the second part of my method, and the second part is counts. Okay, in every song you always have basic counts of 4. Okay, in every song you can hear a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this song right here, we're going to look for the basic 4 counts.
You are now in the mix with DJs.
And in this song, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in any song, you can find that basic 4 count, no matter what the speed is, be a high tempo or a slow tempo. At the same time, again, you can always find those 4 beats. And I have 3 different levels when I use counts with my students. The levels are beginner, intermediate, and advanced. In the beginner level, between each step, you have actual 4 seconds to regroup, okay? And it will sound something like this. Step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4. Again, between each step, there were more beats for the student to be able to sit back, relax, think about what their next step is, regroup, and then execute the next step. This is what it would look like if I were to do a basic step. 5, 6, 7, 8, step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4. Again, that's the beginner counts, and again, it allows for the student to be able to sit back, feel the beat, feel the move, and be able to regroup and think about what the next move is to execute. The intermediate level is the same concept, however, you're taking off 2 of those beats and you only have 2 beats in between each step, okay? And it would sound something like this. Step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2. If I were to translate that into the basic stuff, this is what it would look like. 5, 6, 7, 8, step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2, step, 1, 2. Now, in the intermediate level, though the skater will not be able to really sit back and feel the move and be able to think about what the next move is, you do have a split second or two to really think about where you need to step next. But the next thing you want to look at, and the benefit of the intermediate level, is that it helps you find your base quicker than you would with the beginner level, and it also allows you to work on your explosiveness between beats. Okay, so once you do your step, you're finding where your base is, and you're setting up a lot more quickly to look for your next step than you would in the beginner level. So that's the benefit of the intermediate level. And last but not least, you have the advanced level, which is advanced tempo, where you have no beats in between to rest or think about what the next step. Everything is execution. It's execution, 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 execution. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in the basic step. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the basic step. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that wraps up the counts. And again, I use these counts to distinguish the level where the skater is. If a skater doesn't feel comfortable with the intermediate level, then I'll knock them down to the beginner level until they feel comfortable. And if they still don't feel comfortable with the beginner level, you can even lengthen the amount of counts. For example, if I had someone that was working at a beginner level and they still didn't feel comfortable, then I might put another 4 beats on it. It would sound something like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it gives you another 4 beats to be able to figure out, okay, where do I want to go? Where is my angle? Where am I going to step? And that helps them find more confidence in the step. Okay, so that's the second part to my teaching method. The third part to my teaching method is specific instruction. Specific instruction really pertains to 2 terms. It pertains to modest and aggressive. Those are the 2 terms I would use as far as specific instruction. And I would say a modest heel. All right, so I would tell you the amount of effort to put into a skate move, and then tell you the actual part of the body. Okay, so I would say, you know, give me an aggressive heel at 12 o'clock with your left foot. Okay, so this would be a left leg, this would be a left foot, and I say give me a modest heel to 12 o'clock. Right, so I'm doing a modest heel. In a modest heel, you won't really be able to see that those toes are off the ground. I'm going to show you from the side. Again, this is a modest heel. Of course, now I'm pointing at 3 o'clock. You're 3 o'clock, right? So this is a modest heel, and those toes are coming a little bit off the ground. Okay? That's a modest heel. If I say give me a left leg, aggressive heel. Okay? This would be your left leg, and aggressive heel will be just like this. And basically, I should be able to see the bottom of your skate, or a little bit of the bottom of the skate. Basically, the key is I should be able to see the front 2 wheels in the air, and the back part of your leg should be locked. Your knee should be locked. You shouldn't be bent. It should be a straight leg extension. You should have those toes in the air, and this is what you call an aggressive heel. For teaching purposes in these videos, we're going to be using more of a aggressive heel. The reason why, it will allow beginning skaters how be able to retain their speed without deceleration. Okay, So that's the 3 parts to my teaching method. The last thing I want to address in this video is X marks the spot. The St. Louis G-Slide basic step is basically 6 steps, okay? And those 6 steps go, it would sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 beats. So I'm going to show you what those 6 beats look like. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 steps and 6 beats. With regards to these next couple of videos, we're only going to focus on the first 4 beats of the St. Louis G-Slide. The last 2 beats of the St. Louis G-Slide are pretty easy to teach and pretty easy to pick up. So we're actually going to put those towards the end. Again, that's video 8, that's lesson 7. And those last 2 beats is more or less just the icing on the cake. We want to actually work on all of the angles, the balance, the stopping, acceleration, and that's going to be all in X marks the spot. Now, I've seen some videos of some skaters that were doing the St. Louis G-Slide, and I wanted to address this point. What I've been seeing, I've seen a lot of skaters shooting towards the angle of 9 and 3. Okay, so they'll be set up and they'll start to do their G-Slide, and they will go towards 3 o'clock like this, and they stop on a dime, and then they'll throw themselves back to 9 and stop on a dime. And here's a couple of problems with it. First off, the reason why that's incorrect, it's not incorrect just with the G-Slide period, it's also incorrect with skating because it's uncomfortable. Anything with skating should be balanced, it should be smooth, and be able to transition into the next move. Okay, that's just the principles of good skating and balanced skating. Everything should be balanced. And you should never feel like you're overextending any of your joints while you're skating. If you are, then something's not being done correctly. Okay, and that's just skating. But then when it pertains to the St. Louis G-Slide, you won't have the luxury to be able to go towards 9 and 3 when you start to link up with other people. The G-Slide looks good when you see someone doing it individually, but it really looks very, very nice when you start to link up with one person, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. That's when it really, really looks good because all of the moves are enhanced. And you won't have the luxury to be moving towards your 9 o'clock and towards your 3 o'clock, okay? Because everyone's going to be so tight and more focused on their footwork. So with the X marks the spot, I want you to look down at the floor, okay? We got 12 o'clock in front, we got 3 o'clock to your right, we got 9 o'clock over here to your left, and 6 o'clock right behind you. The St. Louis G-Slide is a heel toe, 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, heel toe. And basically your angles, you're making an X on the ground. So if we were going to do our first heel would be our right foot to 11, okay? This is our right foot, and just point it in the angle of 11, right? That is your first count. Your first count would be your heel, okay? 11 o'clock. Your next angle would be 7, 11, 7. So you're 11 on your heel, and then you're coming back here at 7, okay? And then your next one will be 1 and then 5, your next heel toe combination. So we go 1 o'clock heel, and then toe at 5, okay? So with heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and we went 11, 7, 1, 5. We went 11, 7, 1, 5. Notice that I never went sideways to 9 and 3 o'clock. I never traveled. I stayed in the same spot. And that's what I mean when I say X marks the spot. Your first 4 beats, you are literally making an X on the ground. Those are the paths of all of your skates. Every time you do a strike with one of your skates in one direction, it should be in one of those paths. And you'll notice that when you do that X marks the spot, you won't really move that. You really won't move at all. You'll be in one position. Okay? So for all the advanced skaters, if you do have that concept already, you do understand the X marks the spot, you can go ahead and skip to video 8, which is lesson 7, and learn the last 2 beats of the St. Louis G-Slide. For all the beginners, go ahead and stick around so we can go ahead and learn and perfect our angles and kind of move through these next couple of videos to learn how to do these first 4 counts correctly. And then we'll meet up the advanced skaters in the later lesson on video 8, which is lesson 7, which is the last 2 counts. As always, thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for support. Hashtag come together, hashtag link up, hashtag do G-Slide. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.